In today's episode, we will talk about one of God Almighty's blessings and one of His prodigies. Water is a gift from the Creator. It is the most valuable and abundant creation. If it goes missing or God's creatures fail to find it, the earth loses its freshness, its fruits disappear, and its cattle perishes. The entirety of mankind perishes, and all forms of life on earth are lost. The Almighty says,
وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ.
There are many Quranic verses that mention water and its blessings. It was mentioned more than 60 times. Those verses are full of images and scenes revealing that water is a gift of grace and mercy from God Almighty. But sometimes it might also be a matter of vengeance, torture, and affliction. The fall of rain and water is a symbol of mercy from God Almighty. In its fall, there are verses and lessons, for who can bring the earth back to life with rain can also bring the dead back to life. The Almighty says,
أَفَرَأَيْتُمُ الْمَاءَ الَّذِي تَشْرَبُونَ أَأَنْتُمْ أَنزَلْتُمُوهُ مِنَ الْمُزْنِ أَمْ نَحْنُ الْمُنزِلُونَ لَوْ نَشَاءُ جَعَلْنَاهُ أُجَاجًا فَلَوْلَا تَشْكُرُونَ.
Rain is the drops of water that fall down from clouds on earth and that breathe life into different creatures. Rain is one of the forms of water found in nature. It represents the liquid state of water and is formed as a result of the evaporation of water from different water surfaces due to the rays of the sun. The water changes from its liquid state to vapor or gas, then rises up into the atmosphere, touching the cold layers of the atmosphere and creating a condensation phenomenon in the clouds. The latter move around with the wind, and the water finally falls down as rain in the winter. In tropical regions, the rain falls heavily all year round. Rain is one of the main sources of water on earth.
Rain is one of the most noble natural phenomena on planet Earth because water is considered a source of life. From a scientific perspective, rain forms as a result of evaporation of water from the oceans and the rivers due to high temperatures. The water rises up in the air, and when it reaches the cold layer of the atmosphere, the raindrops get formed and fall down.
Rain is considered very important and has many advantages and benefits for the regions that receive it. In fact, it contributes in irrigating the soil and the plants, which makes it a direct contributor to the food consumed by human beings and animals alike. It also plays an important role in the normal growth of trees, mitigates the risk of desertification, and contributes to creating more green spaces, which improve the air quality and increase the quantity of clean oxygen in the air.
Not all types of rain are suitable for the soil and beneficial for agriculture. Hurricane rain is, for example, very heavy on the soil, whereas the seasonal rain we see during the winter stores a sufficient quantity of water in the ground to promote the natural growth of plants.
Rainwater plays a significant role in the formation of spring water, groundwater, and the water collected by men from wells after the fall of rain. All of those constitute main sources of drinking water, given that rainwater is clean and fit for use by human beings in a clean environment.
It is known that rain is a source of water, and water is a source of life. Spring water, rivers, and groundwater are fed by the rain, and we follow up on the quantity of rain all year long to be able to estimate whether the following year will have abundant crops or sufficient groundwater levels. Some years will inevitably have low groundwater levels, and we will undoubtedly suffer from drought.
The human body consists mostly of water, accounting for up to 75% of it, while the percentage of water in some types of fruits and vegetables goes up to more than 90 to 95%. This shows the important role of water in the formation of living organisms and the formation of fruits and different food types. It is known that man cannot live without water, given that it has great benefits to the human body in terms of ridding it of toxins and waste, preventing the formation of stones, regulating the body temperature, and maintaining the functioning of its organs, all of which need water to function properly and regularly. For this reason, experts recommend drinking 8 glasses of water per day. Rainwater is also important in maintaining the surface soil by preventing sandstorms. Moreover, the rain cleans the air of chemical pollutants and dust. Nevertheless, rain can sometimes be harmful, especially when the humidity reacts with nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide, which are emitted by means of transportation, factories, and power plants, which pollute the water in lakes and streams. This poses a threat to aquatic life and agricultural fields. The excess of water may also cause floods that destroy properties and damage crops. There are many types of rain. Rain with an ascending current. This is the rain resulting from the ascension of wet air due to an increase in temperatures. The air current flows upwards towards the upper layers of the atmosphere. It cools down, becomes denser, and produces rain. The intensity of rainfall depends on 2 main criteria, namely, the amount of evaporated water carried by the air and the temperature of the upper atmosphere that the clouds head towards. This type of rain is found in the tropical and equatorial regions where heavy rain falls regularly all year long. As for hurricane rain, this refers to the rain carried by reverse winds or hurricanes, such as the rain seen in the Mediterranean and Western Europe. Hurricane rain happens when 2 opposite wind currents with different temperatures meet, or when a cold current and a warm current meet, and the warm wind is pushed upwards. When it goes up, this wind becomes cold and condensed, causing rainfall. The latter becomes heavier the more the ascending wind is humid. Another type of rain is related to the terrain, and it occurs when the wind carrying the evaporated water crashes into hills and mountains. When the wind rises above high terrains, it cools down and thickens, producing rainfall, such as seasonal rain and the regular type of rain. As a result, the slopes facing the wind receive heavier rain than the slopes opposing it, which are called the dry slopes, or the area located in the shade of the wind. The amount of rainfall increases with the increasing altitude in general, and this type of rain is most often found in mountainous areas such as the Andes, the Rockies west of the Americas, the mountains of the Indian Peninsula, and the southern slopes of the mountains of the Himalayas.
Many factors affect rainfall. Most importantly, the direction of the wind. In fact, if the wind's direction goes from the oceans towards the mountains, the wind would be carrying a large quantity of heavy rain. Whereas, if the wind's direction is from the land towards the sea, it would not bring enough rain. Another thing that affects the amount of rainfall is the type of terrain. It is known that more rain falls on mountain peaks than on the slopes. The temperature also affects the level of rain. Regions with high temperatures and vapor-filled clouds will have heavy rain, just like what we see in the equatorial regions.
Rain formation goes through several stages. It starts with evaporation. The heat coming from the sun contributes to the evaporation of water and its rise in the atmosphere as droplets of gas. The air movement carries the water droplets up, given their lightness and low density. The formation of clouds. The droplets of water in their liquid, gas, and solid states gather in the troposphere and form clouds of colors ranging from white to dark gray. The condensation stage. This stage occurs when temperatures decrease. In fact, the temperature of the water vapor molecules drops, and this process continues until the molecules reach the troposphere, and it can go on until the stratosphere is reached, where the state of the molecules switches back from gas to liquid, and the water becomes condensed to form clouds. And finally, rainfall. When the clouds get formed, the wind currents move them towards the cold layers of the atmosphere, where the water molecules combine and form larger molecules that fall down when the clouds pass over high terrain. When the water evaporates from the surface of the earth, it evaporates alone, without the chemical substances and pollutants that it might carry. When the evaporated water falls back down as rain, it is extremely pure when it starts to fall, before the droplets of rain begin to catch pollutants, dust, and other bodies present in the air during their fall to the surface of the earth. The longer the duration of rainfall, the less impact the pollutants have, and the air becomes clear thanks to the relatively clean rainwater that washes it. Rainwater can be used in many economic fields and in daily tasks, such as linking the rainwater collection system to the irrigation system to water plants, washing vehicles and pets, and filling pools, fountains, and fish ponds, in addition to cleaning sidewalks and passageways. Using rainwater to meet human beings' daily needs instead of other sources of water can contribute to reducing the depletion of groundwater, which could become subject to more pressure with the growth of communities. Rainwater also reduces the demand on water and gives governments enough time to save the exorbitant costs that would be needed to expand water treatment facilities as a result of the growth of populations and their needs. Rainwater is considered an important source of groundwater. In fact, part of the rainwater falling down on the surface of the earth leaks into the pores of rocks and goes deep into the ground to create groundwater, which is considered a source for springs that in turn feed the streams and ponds. Human beings largely rely on groundwater for different uses in their daily lives, such as drinking and irrigation. Its importance is also seen during the summer, given that springs are considered the only source of fresh water during that period of time. Rainwater catches some germs and dust during its fall, especially in polluted cities. For this reason, it should not be consumed right away, but should be treated first, by boiling and filtering it to kill the germs and bacteria it includes, and remove chemical substances, dirt, and other pollutants from it. Rainwater should be collected directly before it touches trees, buildings, and facilities when it is fit for drinking, given that it does not include any chlorine or fluoride that may be added to the water in pipes and tanks in order to kill the germs that it might contain, and which may cause a few health issues such as gastritis, headaches, and other damages to human beings' internal organs. Stabilizes the pH of the blood, rids the body of toxins, and increases the digestive system's efficiency. Washing one's hair with lukewarm and natural rainwater reinforces it and promotes its growth, compared to acidic water which harms the hair follicles. It also promotes the skin's health. In fact, showering in rainwater preserves the skin's elasticity and moisture for a long period of time, making it look more fresh and youthful. Rainwater also has great advantages for plants and the environment. Plants get their nutrients from the soil moisture resulting from the rain. The soil absorbs the rainwater that it receives, and this water releases the nutrients and minerals contained in the soil, allowing plant roots to later on absorb them and diffuse them to the remaining parts of the plants which need them to grow and survive. Plants also need rainwater for photosynthesis, to produce sugar and to turn it into energy to produce leaves, flowers, and fruits. Therefore, the lack of water in plants leads to a lack in minerals and the growth of unhealthy plants. It is undoubtedly true that rainwater is the most useful type of water for plants for several reasons, among which are: this type of water is free of salts, harmful minerals, and added chemical substances that may negatively affect plants. Rainwater also contributes in preserving the soil and eliminating the accumulated salts and chemical substances that it contains. It also contains some organic substances which are useful for the soil, given its contact with tree leaves as it falls. It contains nitrate, an important nutrient for the growth of plants and tree leaves. Nitrate is known for being easily absorbable by plants. Rain plays an important role in maintaining ecosystems. In fact, it promotes the existence of fish, birds, aquatic plants, and other living creatures, depending on water, when the rain feeds the rivers, lakes, and different water surfaces home to these creatures. Rainwater also contributes in reducing the pressure on natural water sources, which plays a significant role in protecting the environment. Rainfall differs among the regions of the world. Some regions have very few rainy days, whereas others witness rain every single day of the year. The state of Meghalaya in India has heavy rains every day. It was categorized as the most rainy region in the world, as the level of rain reaches 467 inches per year, which is 13 times more than the rainfall level in the city of Seattle in the United States, for example. In this city, people have become accustomed to life under the rain. You can often find workers outside with unique umbrellas made out of bamboo and banana leaves, covering their entire body. One of the most wonderful and beautiful features of the area is the natural bridges that cover the valleys flooded by the rain. In fact, local residents have worked for centuries on making sure that the tree trunks grow in the shape of a natural bridge that grows stronger with time. The rain, with its fresh water flowing through rivers and springs, is a blessing from the Almighty Creator. It is also strongly related to the continuity of life on earth. We thank God who breathed life into this earth and made water the source of every living thing to make us believe and think about the wisdom of His creation and the abundance of His generosity.